The second you speak, people decide whether you're going to get what you want or not. Now, you might think that you can influence them by having more confidence, better body language, or training your voice. But it isn't the first thing that you focus on. I know this because I have interviewed thousands of leaders, founders, experts, CEOs, and I've trained hundreds, and nearly every single one of them made this mistake, which meant that they were visible, they were on TV or on stage, but they didn't get the outcome that they wanted. In this video, I'm sharing exactly what you need to say so that you get what you want when you speak. But first, let's take a step back. Why do you have interactions, meetings, go on podcasts, panels, pitch? It's because there's something that you want. You want somebody to sign a contract with you, to hire you, to give you money. Or it could be that you want somebody to change their behavior or a decision. What you want every single time you communicate is a yes. But how do you make that happen? Well, before we get onto that, let's look at the common misconception about communication. You are trained to share what you know, your credentials, your expertise, your knowledge. That's how you got through school and college and got great grades. But that's the wrong thing to do. Well, it is the right thing, but not the way you've been taught. Think about this. There's very little information you can't access online these days. I mean, AI has the answer to everything, right? So it's not information and knowledge that we're after, but that's what comes out of your mouth. I call this giving me Google. And I used to beg people I'd interview and train not to do this. Instead, I wanted them to tell me what was going on inside them, their insight, opinion, analysis, the stuff that I couldn't look up online. Point number one is don't give me Google. Give me your take on what's going on. But even if you are great at this, your stakeholders still won't see the value in what you're saying unless you use very specific words. On to killer information. I got a message from a client last week. He wants to earn more. He's raising his profile on stage, speaking, moderating on podcasts, doing all the right things, but he hasn't got any more clients. And so I asked him one question. How many people, how many of your perfect type of client have you spoken to over the past 2 weeks? Nobody. This is a problem. Now, the type of stakeholder that my client wants a yes from include headhunters, deciding who to put forward for a fantastic position, people in leadership roles deciding who to hire, clients with money to spend, investors, and event organizers who are deciding who to have on panel discussions and to have on stage in speaker spots. Now, these are very different people. They need different things, and they're going to pay attention to very different things. How do you make that happen? Well, here's what I told my client and what I say to you. If you don't know the words your stakeholder uses to describe their problem, the worries that keep them up at night, and what they really want for themselves, then you will fail. No landing page, no LinkedIn post, no spot on a podcast will get you your ideal stakeholder saying, "I want you," without having conversations with your stakeholders, which is why I drill into my clients the idea of discover, don't decide. Discover what's keeping them up, their words and wants and worries. Don't decide what to share with them, which is your biggest problem. You know your stuff and you know how to fix their problem for them, and that's what you start with. They're not listening. Point number 2 is don't say what you know. Be the voice inside. Which way up does it go? Be the voice inside your stakeholder's head and speak their language. That's how you'll get them going, "Oh, I want you." If you want my help to get your stakeholder saying, "I want you," click on the link below the video and let's work together to make it happen. Now, you could nail the first 2 points, but without this one, you still won't get your result. On to the only thing that works. Let's get a bit stats and facty, shall we? Research tells us that 82% of people will do nothing if they're not told to do it. 91% of people will do something if they're told to do it. And when you tell people to do something in a really clear, easy way, it boosts your results by 202%. Can you believe it? So what's the takeaway here? The takeaway here is tell them and make it easy for them to do. This is what nearly every single expert leader, CEO I've interviewed and trained didn't do instinctively. They were busy sharing all their knowledge and information and the key words and what they wanted to get across, but they wouldn't share a next step. So nothing happened. They didn't get the result that they wanted from the interaction. What a waste of an opportunity. I mean, my TV program was broadcast to 200 million people every week. Imagine what that would do for you, for your credibility, authority, influence, and for your bank account. You would get the results that you wanted if you did step number 3. You need to tell people what to do next. Tell them. If you want my help doing this and you're ready to invest in your success, click on the link below the video. But you know what? You can get all these 3 steps right. But if you don't know how to speak in a way that blows up your influence and exactly when to say these important words, well then, you won't get the result you're after. Watch this video next to find out exactly what to say and where to say it so that you get what you want. I'll see you there. Bye.